Hey everybody, Cheryl Morrison here, your local Chicagoland real estate attorney, and today I wanted to chat with you about if you're selling your home, when should you be moving out? And I guess it probably seems like it's a pretty obvious question, but it really does trip some people up sometimes. There's a few things that you want to be mindful of when you're selling your home. First off, you do need to have sort of a plan for at least one, maybe 2 nights of where you might be. If you are moving into a new place, you might have to sell your current home before you can buy a new one. And it's more logistics to work out if you need to sell one home and buy another the next day. And sometimes it's just really difficult to make that happen, and you might end up having to close one day and then do your purchase the next or a couple days after that. So even if even if it works out and you're able to swing 2 closings in one day, you really want to have a backup plan, because it needs to happen. You need to have the sale, and in order to do that, you need to have, you need to actually physically move. So have a backup plan where to stay with some family or friends, or maybe just plan on a hotel for the night. What's going to happen with your belongings? Are they going to sit in the truck? Do you have, some security, about that to make sure that they're going to be safe overnight that way? Have you moved everything into storage? If you have, that might be just great, because it'll give you a lot of time to, slowly move out and then slowly move back in. But it's definitely something to think about earlier on. Another thing, of course, is that the closing date sometimes does change too, so you want to make sure that you have some flexibility with that if you are going to hire movers, you might have a moving appointment for one day, but the closing might end up being a few days after that. So after you think about that, you also need to keep in mind that your buyers are going to be doing a final walkthrough of your home. And that's their opportunity to make sure that everything is in the same condition that it was when you accepted their offer to purchase the home for 6 weeks beforehand. So to give your buyers the best chance to do that, it really is important that you have all of your belongings out. If they don't have a good opportunity to do that final walkthrough, they might choose to wait to close until they are out, so they can confirm that everything is as it should be. So it might cause a delay in the closing itself. Also, if you are moving out, you might accidentally, damage a wall or, something like that. And more likely than not, it's easiest if you can just, oh, I damaged that, I should fix it, because this house needs to be in the same condition it was, less normal wear and tear. So that damage needs to be fixed. And it'll give you a chance to fix those things before your buyer does the final walkthrough and ends up bringing it up while we're all at the closing table, and then we've got to scramble to make those things happen. Now, of course, more likely than not, we will be able to figure something out, but you really want the closing to go smoothly. It's stressful enough to close and move as it is, much less when you're trying to figure out last minute issues. So if you move out a little bit beforehand, the day before, then you can be sure that your buyers will be able to walk through an empty house, and if they do have any issues, they'll be able to bring them to your attention, and you'll be able to address them, so that we can get to the closing, and they can buy and walk out happy, and you can get your proceeds check for your next purchase, or for your bank account, and and go on your way too without having any delays. So those are probably the 2 top, things that you can do, is just to make sure that you have a plan, to make sure that you do know that you really need to be out a little bit ahead of time when you are closing, and that way we'll have a good opportunity. If there is something that comes up at the last minute, make a plan to address that, so that we can get your house sold and you on to your next step. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm always happy to answer them for you. I hope this has been helpful.